take a moment to spend some time in family time. So, what time is it? All right. All right, so during family time, we have, of course, some announcements that we like to make for you in our campus life. But I do want to share with you it's important to listen when there's a speaker up here, no matter who it is. It's called being respectful. I recently saw a TED Talk, and the TED Talk was about life expectancy. What is the secret to living a long, healthy life? So researchers did some research, and they found people that had lived many years. And what they found, they did all these studies, and they wanted to find what is the secret to having a healthy, long life. So recently, of course, we just saw the Queen of England. She was 96 years old, and that lady was still shaking hands and doing her job even into her 90s. So that's an example of somebody who has lived a long life, right? And probably a healthy one, I would think. She was probably very healthy. She had her little corgis, and she would probably take daily walks and do all that good stuff. So these researchers did a lot of different things and found out what contributes to essentially a shorter life. So this is what they found. Some of the things that contributed to maybe a shorter life was weight and perhaps blood pressure, family history, and so they kind of found more reasons why you would have a shorter life. But what's interesting to me is at the top of the list, the top contributors to a shorter life, do you know what it was? No. And perhaps maybe that's part of it, but it was lack of community, loneliness. So I got thinking about it. Do we have people here in this building, Lauren? Thank you. Do we have people in this building that don't have community? Do we have people in this building that may use somebody to sit with during lunch? Do we have people in this community that maybe could use a friend, could use somebody to talk to? So sometimes it's hard to think about it because we're like, well, I don't want to be friends with them because if I don't get along with them, I don't have anything in common with them. But thinking about health, right? We're talking about mental health this year. And things that make us in a state of healthy health, one of those things is community. So I want you guys as a school community to be thinking about how can you be more inclusive, right? How can you make sure that we're all included? Talk to somebody. Say hi to them. Maybe there's something that you have in common that you didn't realize. And this is why I love having these clubs, and I'm really glad that we have these chess clubs because there's a common interest that can bring people together, right? Care Club, CAS, all these things. And I encourage you, if there's a club that you really don't like, start something you might like and build that community to help those that may not have a community to be a part of, okay? All right, so we have a couple announcements before we begin our assembly, and let's start with, I think Miss Ramirez has one, and then somebody else approached me about an announcement. Can't remember who it was. Oh, Emma.
All right, Hornets, happy Friday. I'm up here again on behalf of the school services team, student services team, really. Just to let you know that we are approaching the end of September. 3 weeks from now, we will be in mid-October. October 14 is a Friday. That is the 9-week mark for this semester for grades. And as you know, we meet weekly and we look at grades. And there is a provision in the student handbook that to participate in your school activities, athletics, drama, field trips, things like that, your grades need to be at a certain point. And that is an overall course grade of 70% or higher. Just bringing to your awareness that you need to be checking this too. We have about 24 students that are on this list a little bit repeatedly. So that's about an eighth of the high school. You need to be checking RenWeb and making sure you're getting your work in. A lot of these low grades are due to missing work, not lack of understanding, but missing work. And it's your responsibility to get things in on time so that your teachers have enough time to grade. So this is just a friendly reminder, and we'll be encouraging you for the next couple weeks to make sure you do that. Thank you.
Emma?
Hey guys. So tonight the sophomores are having a fireside at 6 to 9 at the Esvelds, and the address will be posted in our sophomores team chat.
All right, so let's get into our assembly. We're going to start with prayer, and we have some nice, cool treats for you today. All right, let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for these awesome students. Help us as we prepare them and build them to be amazing people in the world, making changes. In your name we pray, amen. All right, so we have Miss Esposito. She's going to be leading our discussion today about professionalism.
Well, hello, everyone. It's so good to see you all. And we're going to go to the next slide. So we have a quick overview of what is going to take place right now. My part right now is to introduce the wonderful panelists that are here today. And I'm going to spend a little bit more time introducing our visitor. She is not a strange. She kind of belongs to the family because she's the mother of one of our seniors. Hi, Logan. I know you're so happy I'm calling your name, right? And then Ethan in the freshman class. He didn't know that Mommy was coming, so he's probably hiding himself. But we are so glad that you are here. And then I'll tell you about the special music. But I'm going to go to the next slide so you can know what this beautiful lady does for a living. She is the Chief Administrative Assistant for WGTS. And on that Oh, I don't know the difference. You're going to have to explain me later. Yeah. Oh, officer. I'm so sorry. Okay, she's, officer, not assistant. I'll change it. And in that capacity, she oversees a lot of important things that take place in the radio. She does the human resources activities and also coordinates performances and operations in general. So we know she's a busy lady, super busy, and we are so honored that you separate time from your busy schedule to be with us. So, Miss Kelly, you can go up there. Thank you so much. I'm trying to make sure that I sit far away because she's really so tall, and you know, I'm not. So, thank you. Yes, anyone. Thank you so much. Then we have 4 more panelists that you know, they're very well known to you. We can go to the next slide. These are our very own people. But, okay, I'm glad you love them that much. And even though you know them, today you're going to get to know them a little bit more because they're going to tell you some things about themselves, their experience, what they have done in the past. So we're going to have Mr. Martinez participating. Our dear, she is assistant. That's where my confusion came from. Miss Esville, that does so many things for us, and we love her so much. Mr. Timon, our wonderful athletic director, and then there you go. Enjoy, Mr. Timon. And then one of the new additions to our school that is really bringing the music of Spencerville even to a higher level. So we are so happy to have all of you. I'm going to ask to all the SAA panelists, Mr. Timon, Ms. Esvel, Mr. Martinez, to come up front. But I'm going to tell you something. Even though I'm excited about this kind of assemblies that we have once a quarter, yeah, there's a lot of talking. We're going to wait a minute so I don't have to talk too loud. Thank you. I love these assemblies, but I really miss worship in chapel, especially the music. You know, the song service and the music is my favorite part of the week. Well, today we're not going to have song service, but we're going to have some music. And for that, we invited a composer, a great artist, that is coming here to play a musical piece that he composed. Maybe you're already guessing that I'm talking about our very own, the one and only, Mr. Felipe Garibaldi. Oh, there you go. I am not going to dare to say the name of your song in Portuguese. You can do it.
Thank you, Mrs. Esposito. Well, that was such a generous introduction. I was kind of, oh my gosh, is that me? Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here with you guys. Good morning. I guess, well, I've been meeting our students at the music theory and composition class. It's wonderful to have like all of you today. Yeah, shout out to the music theory and composition students. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. So today I decided to share with you a composition of my own. It's very personal, very dear to me, and it's called Across Minas and Andalusia. Minas is a region of Brazil, a region of mines. Yes, I'm from Brazil, yes. Anyone Brazilian here? All right, there you go. Wonderful. So, where in Brazil are you from, or your parents? Santa Catarina, olha só, lá do sul. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, Rio de Janeiro? Who's from Rio there? All right, nice. Emily. Oh, there's a, yeah, right? Wonderful. So yeah, this is from Minas Gerais state in Brazil, which is close to Rio de Janeiro, by the way. And there's some unique music in Minas Gerais, unique harmonies, chords that inspire me a lot. And also Spanish music, particularly from Andalusia, inspires me a lot. So I brought together those two influences, and it's a song about letting yourself express the things you want to express, going through the highs and lows of life, but living with passion and devotion. So I hope you like it. Thank you. get my guitar over there.
Amazing. Is it working? Yes. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. Nothing else to add. Amazing. Okay, let's begin. I'm gonna make a question that is gonna be for each one of you, and you can answer, no particular order, whoever is ready to share first. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your working experience. What do you think can make us call you to talk about professionalism?
I like how they all look at me first.
Yeah, you are the first.
Oh my goodness, you guys are so intimidating. I talk normally in front of adults, so congratulations, you've intimidated me. Again, my name is Kelly Carvalho. You probably know me better as Logan or Ethan's mom or Harrison and Emily's aunt. So you'll frequently find me at soccer games. But professionally, I am the Chief Administrative Officer for WGTS. If you don't know it, it's a radio station. Tune in, 91.9, or 88.3 if you're on the Eastern Shore. So I oversee all things human resources, operations, and performance management. My career has been about 20 years or so in HR specifically. I got my degree at, it used to be called Columbia Union College, but it's now called Washington Adventist University. I then got my master's, went to grad school at Towson University up in Towson, Maryland. I got my master's degree in human resources management. I started in HR as a whim. It was an accident. One night, the person I was working for called me and said, I need your help in accounting and finance. And I had never done an accounting class or a finance class in my life. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was 22 years old. And then the next day I went in, and sometimes in HR, if it's a smaller company, HR practices will be overseen by finance department. So I started, and then that's how I got into it, and I learned that I really liked people. I really liked administering benefits and administering payroll and having tough conversations, because that happens a lot in HR. And then I did that for a few years, went on to become a consultant, which is really where I got a lot of my experience in a lot of different industries. So healthcare, media, retail, all sorts of industries. I learned lots of different things for a few years. And then I became the director of HR for a real estate subsidiary in DC. And then I grew into a COO role there. So I became COO there, and then I recently became the Chief Administrative Officer. In between there, I was a VP of HR for the YMCA, which I'm sure you've heard of, but decided that WGTS was going to be my home.
Impressive, right? And before I forget, we're not going to have time for this lady to share all her knowledge with us. So she promised me that she will stay behind a few minutes if you have extra questions. The rest of you, we're here, you can talk to us anytime. Okay, who's going to be the second one? All right.
I'll go next. So most of you guys know me obviously now because I work here, or you've seen me before. But before that, when I turned 16, I loved clothes. So I went to the mall and got offered to a job at American Eagle. Back then, they sold flannels and Birkenstocks. It's very different than what it is now. But immediately realized that I loved working in clothes and customer service. And so I just spent the next 2 years learning everything I could. And at 18, I became a store manager of my first store. So I was managing an American Eagle and just kind of fell in love with retail as a whole. At one point I said, no one works in jeans and t-shirts. I should probably get a real job where you sit at a desk. So I did a short stint in an office and realized that I hate sitting. I know I'm sitting now, but I hate sitting back then. So then I continued on with Old Navy. Back then it was big, huge, giant stores. So I ran one store with 100 employees. From that, just continued to grow, became a district manager, and ended up managing 9 Old Navy stores across Maryland. After that, I said, you know what, Starbucks is the next thing to do. Everybody loves coffee, I know you all love it. So I went into Starbucks as a district manager and ran 23 Starbucks stores in Washington, D.C. And then from there, Chipotle was obviously the next thing, right? Starbucks, Chipotle. So you can see I just go where the trends are. And then at that point, I managed 9 Chipotles for the last 8 years. It was about $28 million worth of money that I was responsible for. In each store, I managed the general managers and all the managers below and all the crew members. So it was about 30 people in each restaurant. I did everything that she did, hiring, performance, employment, benefits, you name it, I did it. And then I just realized that I missed my kids and wanted to spend time. So that's why I'm here with you guys now. So I'm happy to be here.
What? We are so blessed to have these very important people among us. Now, Mr. Martinez.
All right, so a lot of you guys don't know, but when I was your age and my senior in high school, I remember talking to one of my teachers. We were getting ready, I don't even know if we had a counselor at that school, but my teacher was my counselor. And I remember asking him, I have 2 passions in my life. One of them is communications, and the other one is music. And we had this long discussion, what should I do, And I decided that communications was going to be where my life was going to be. So I thought I was going to be a radio DJ. And so I went to school at Southwestern Adventist University and studied communications for 2 years. I went as a missionary, and that was very life transformative for me for many reasons. And there was a conservatory down the road, and I had a lot of friends that were musicians. And so I would go hang out with them, and there was another voice teacher there that said, hey, you can do music. And I felt like, I had done some internships in some radio stations, and I was like, man, I don't think I really want to kind of do that. And I decided that when I came back, I was going to leave Southwestern, and I went to Washington Adventist University, where Kelly was, to be a part of an amazing music program there at the time, this director named James Bigham. And so that's how I got into music and finished that degree there. So I got my degree in composition, music composition from Catholic University. And then I came here and have been here ever since. So in this role that I am now is kind of coming back into another part of my brain that I really enjoy. So a lot of you guys don't know, but I'm really passionate about leadership and music. So you can have 2 passions, but the one commonality of those 2 is education. I really enjoy teaching kids and helping students to be to find their careers, just like my teacher really helped me when I was your age. So here I am.
Awesome. And by the way, he's doing a great job, don't you think? Okay. Mr. Timon, our wonderful athletic director.
All right, I'll try to go quick here because you guys gave quite a resume. I'll just say I haven't been around as long, so. No, just kidding. So just in regards to kind of how I started, it actually started my junior year of high school. My high school did not have an intramural program, and I was like, we need to have intramurals at our school because we used to have it my sophomore year, but our intramural coordinator quit. So I went up to our athletic director and I said, hey, I want to be the intramural coordinator for our school. Will you pay me to do it? And he said, sure. So I took over my junior year doing all the scheduling, teams for our high school. I did that for my junior and senior year, and then I went off to the great University of Southern Adventist University, which I hope some of you guys go there, but that's just my plug. But so when I went to Southern, I was actually PT my freshman year. I was not in education. I did not want to do anything with education. And biology changed that for me. I went in as PT, you have to take biology, and I was like, I do not want to do this for the next 4 years, taking classes like this. So I had to figure out what I liked doing. So I always loved sports, and I seemed to work well with kids at the time and with the summer camp that I'd work at. So I was like, all right, let me get into teaching. So I ended up switching over to physical education and health at Southern. Did my 5 years there, because I ended up getting a history minor as well while I was there. And then I came to the great state of Maryland after I graduated, and I worked at Appleton for 6 years. Yes, for some of those who are Appletons, yes, I've had some of you for a very long time. And then I came over here, and this is my 4th year here at Spencerville. And during my time, I ended up getting my master's in physical education curriculum and athletic administration, which is essentially what I still am doing now from Azusa Pacific University in LA. So 10 years of working, and that's essentially my bio. So thanks.
Thank you. Awesome. And Mr. Garibaldi. Okay. Well, so good to hear about these, life journeys and how God shows the way to each one of us through the time.
I can use this one. Yeah, it's working. Yes. Well, it's great to hear all that. Well, as far as it goes for me, the professional journey in music has been a lot of learning, a lot of studying. So I've had teachers, music teachers, that inspired me a lot. And they had a huge impact in my life. So when I was about 14, I was doing my first compositions, performing, and I had it clear that I wanted to be a musician. And then I started really focusing on it. Then I went to do my bachelor's degree back in Brazil, at the University of São Paulo, which is a very big, I think it's the biggest university in South America. It's a public university in Brazil where you have a lot of diversity, a lot of different stuff going on, different people. It was a great opportunity. And so I did my bachelor's in guitar performance there.
Cleaning or whatever. So I thought that was a really interesting thing I learned from that job. So every little job, you learn something new that will help you in the next job. So.
All right, we were supposed to have an activity. We don't have the time. So I want to thank you so much. You did a wonderful job, all of you. Let's give them a round of applause. And I also want to thank the people back there running all the systems and each one of you, because you look professional today. You were scholars that pay attention and made all of us proud. So God bless you. Happy Sabbath. We'll continue this conversation throughout the year.
See you guys. Get to class. You may leave.
Grandma, I have to go back to work. I have a job. Professionalism. Out of class.
We have a career day coming up. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Did we take my shoes off?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for coming.